yo, it's Lacey Marv. Welcome to Unleash the Underground. I'm here with your boy SeeS.
What up, what up?
What's going on, man?
SeeS
Glad to
music.
have you here.
Man, I'm glad to be here.
Yes.
Shout out BST Records. Shout out Jinx. Man, shout out you, man. What's your name again? I don't even know.
Dang, Lacey Marv.
Lacey Marv.
Lacey
Marv. It's the first time we meeting. What's up, man?
Yeah, what's good? What's going on?
Chilling.
Nice
so we gonna get to know each other on air.
Yeah.
This dope.
Yeah,
we brought some liquor.
Dope. You know what I'm
We
saying?
gonna get it poppin'.
Got some liquor. What you got over there, man? This got
Yo,
some bottles.
I don't know this. Whatever this
See
is.
that camera right there?
Let's
Just look at
figure it out.
Yeah. Alriady, but had a little drink.
You know,
Yeah,
we gotta get familiar first.
Okay, definitely. Okay. Woo. Put a little hair on his chest. You know what I'm saying? That's why I keep it always buttoned.
Yeah, 100. Can we swear? Can we swear in here?
We can
All right,
swear.
fuck
We
that.
can
100
swear,
proof.
curse. You can swear. 100 proof. Woo.
Yeah.
Yo, can't do it though. Listen, y'all come down here. Make sure y'all bring a bottle for me because I do like to drink. You know what I mean? I appreciate it.
All right, then we're gonna get into the interview.
Definitely. Unleash the Underground. Lacey Marv SeeS here. Came through with the bottle. Lovely.
All right, word. Cheers.
All right, cheers. There we go.
Cheers. SeeS music, deep seas. Let's get it.
Woo. Smooth.
All right, cool. Let's go.
Just tell me about SeeS.
SeeS.
Who is SeeS? What is SeeS? How does SeeS start?
All right, so I mean, SeeS started when I was born because it's my name. So
I guess.
you know, and then SeeS has become an artist in every respect. I think you know what I mean. When I approach business, I look at it like an art.
Okay.
When I approach learning, I look at it like an art. You know, when I approach music, obviously, I look at it like an art. So, you know, right now I'm doing a couple things. I'm doing things, you know, artist management, independent radio promotion, trying to get my foot in the door in the industry as much as possible. So that's a big role that I play. Then obviously, first and foremost, a musician. And I always use music to kind of cope with what I'm doing in life. So I don't feel like I ever get distracted really from being a musician because when I go through a journey that's outside of music, it helps my music. You know what I mean? Because I write about it. I feel like instinctively I write.
So it's like your music is like your journal. Or
exactly.
I say your
what I'm
outlet
doing.
of like, listen, this is my life. I'm going through it. I'm going to express myself through this music.
Exactly. So whether it was through college years or even earlier than that, or whether it is, you know, taking a job in the industry and stuff, all that stuff to me is not distracting. It's actually what inspires me is I try to take as much of my life and put it into the music. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
definitely you gotta involve yourself into the music because if you don't put yourself into the music, what is it? Is it really music or is it just noise?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So I guess the answer to what is SeeS is SeeS is a human being like everybody else. And I want people to see that. I don't want to be just a superhero person that, you know, talks a lot of stuff that he doesn't do or this or that. I want to be flaws and all. I want to be out there for people to get to know
just
and
completely
understand.
Transparent. Just like I'm here. I'm clear.
Exactly.
Just see me for who I am.
That's the point of Deep Seas. That's the whole point of the album is to like really take a step back and make music that's more personal. So I produced, you know, track 2 to track 13, and there's only one track before and after.
There's only one track before and after.
Yeah. So
you produce. So you just mentioned Deep Sea. So that's what. Explain to everybody so they know what it is.
Okay. So Deep Seas is my latest project. You can download it all free. SeeSmusic.com.
Deep Seas.
Yeah, it's on DatPiff. You know, SoundCloud. Be sure to check it out. And it was my attempt at making a personal album that really was, you know, fun for me to make and kind of made the music I wanted to make. You know what I mean? So that's why it was important for me to produce it. And I didn't want to throw someone else's beat in the middle because it kind of tells a story. I feel like the album really kind of takes you on a journey.
So you done it everything from just...
Yeah. And it's kind of cool because the first beat is produced by a guy named Ira who I work in Chicago a lot. And, you know, this guy, I'm not going to mention his name, but huge producer, works with Chance's people. They did a project with Tokyo and Saba and, you know, Rocky Fresh and a bunch of people. And it was actually an old jazz acoustic album that they turned into a hip hop album. And so Sun Comes Back Again, the first song on the project, is actually that. And to me, that like is one of the best studios I've ever recorded in, one of the highest moments of my life. So I wanted to start the album with that. but it wasn't my production. You know what I mean? And then the last song is with FNX, is Can't Out Rap Me, which he put on his project. It has Chris Rivers on it. Shout out FNX. And it was so dope. I was just like, let me throw that on my album too. You know,
that's what they just had it in here too. Just to talk about it. Dope.
So that's how it ends. But you know, between those bookmarks of two accomplishments in my life is kind of like a reflection of my whole life.
Okay, so do you feel like this album was therapeutic to you? It was like, you know what I mean? You got to get some things out that you usually get to talk about.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's interesting because like I have a song called Adoption, which we'll get into the video.
Okay, we gonna touch that. We gonna touch on that.
It did really well as far as getting a reaction through online and stuff. And if you had said like, oh, you're gonna make a song about adoption, that's like a fringe topic. That's not really mainstream. Yeah. This was like an opportunity to make songs like that, you know?
They sound real, like you wanted to.
Exactly. And I feel like the feedback for that has been kind of phenomenal because people really do like, I think when people use music to express themselves unapologetically, you know what I mean? And they don't really care so much about presenting themselves in the best light, but presenting themselves in the truest light, you know? And I think that's really what the whole project is about from start to finish. It's not a lot of commercial bangers on it. There's one song that might be a little more commercial, leaning towards radio. But the goal was to not get caught up in this, let me reverse engineer a radio hit. Let me look at what BPMs, there is a science to it, which I appreciate. Again, that's an art, like I was talking about in the beginning. So understanding trigger words, understanding like BPMs, you know, type of song structure, female on the hook, you know, certain BPM, certain sounds that fit what's going on right now. You can try to work that way. To me, that's almost working backwards than saying, what do I really feel, going through samples, just finding sounds that you're like, oh, I like that, and building up the journey. I think there's definitely time and room for both. For me, this was an escape from the pressure of trying to make commercially acceptable music and make music that was real to me as in deep seas. And you know what I mean? It's not really a try to prove that it can be as big as maybe some mainstream songs. It's not to like prove anybody wrong or anything. It's literally just for me.
So so saying that, like, do you feel like, okay, you have control over your music now, you have control over what you're producing, and you know what I mean, you feel like you want to get what you are out now, because say you make it, you know what I mean, now, you know what I mean, because obviously every goal as an artist is to make it.
Right.
Do you feel like you're gonna have to go to commercial at one point in time? Because right now you're this one person saying that, okay, this is who I am. You know, I'm real, I'm raw, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm transparent, and this is who I am. And then later on you make it, then you're gonna have to make them commercial songs. You know what I mean, in my opinion, just because you're gonna have to make those commercial songs. Do you feel like, you know, let me get what I can't get out now, because later on I'm gonna have to do this?
I think there's a real kind of beauty to commercial songs as well. And there can be a lot of integrity put into a commercial song. Yeah. And, you know what I mean? Every once in a while you hear a commercial song that's just like, you know, like Kendrick comes to mind. You know what I mean? And when he makes songs that make it on the radio, the song he had with Tech Nine, Fragile. Yeah. That's like a commercial song that fit that commercial structure, fit that BPM, hit that. Everything was checked off and still was deep and still had a message. Then I also consider myself a conceptual rapper, so I'm not like always a deep thinking. I have fun too, you know what I mean?
Fun. You had different styles.
I like to do dumb shit too, you know what I mean? So as long as a song is conceptual, I can make a song about anything. To me, it's about staying, you know, painting a picture from beginning to end that's consistent throughout a song, and not just like throwing a bunch of, like, I could write down all ill punchlines, and that would be dope if the concept of the song is just dope punchlines, like, you know what I mean, like Nas did going through my rhyme book, remember? So if you're like, here's an assortment of punchlines, that'd be a dope concept, but you can't do that 16 times on an album.
You gotta have something for everybody, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So do you feel like you make music for the ladies as well? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
So
and to be honest, Adoption resonated really well, probably better than any other record I did with a female demographic. And I think it has to do with family. You know, it didn't necessarily be like a club, shake your booty record. It was definitely a deeper family type record. But if you look at the likes and the shares on Facebook and the people that are messaging me,
you definitely get a lot of likes and a lot of shares.
So many, it's the perfect demographic.
Yeah,
really. It's
that's because like I said, that's a touchy subject.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of people feel certain ways about it, but then at the end of the day, everybody has to feel. Like I said, it's just a touchy topic. So everybody feels certain ways about it, because you could say, you know what, at the end of the day, you don't know what someone was going through at that point in time in their life when they did what they did. You know what I mean? But then you got the other side. Somebody's like, I can never. But if you're already in a fucked up situation where, you know what I mean, you chose to do something, you know what I mean, chose to keep your child or get rid of your child, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? It's like I said, it's a touchy subject. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Everybody feels certain ways about it, and it's like no one's ever really wrong for it.
Yeah,
because
sure.
you got the ones who, okay, boom, you can't really judge it to someone who didn't. You know what I mean? Send them somebody that got an abortion, because you don't know what that child's life could have been.
That's one of my lines in there. It says, "I would have got an abortion."
Yeah,
thinking about my dad. I wonder if he wanted an abortion. God knows I would have got an abortion.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm definitely very pro women's rights. You know what I mean? To control decisions about their body. You know what I mean? So to me, this is not an anti-abortion song at all. You know what I mean?
So speaking about that too, I think they were I was talking to somebody talking about a law that was passing where women can't get abortion now, in some states, because if the father doesn't want them to.
That's
crazy.
What I mean? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a touchy subject.
I mean, it is a touchy subject, but that's what's real. You know what I mean? Because my opinion, you know what I mean? That's just my opinion, Lacey Marv's opinion.
Right, yeah.
Is that, you know what I mean? If a man could have a female who wants to get, if she got pregnant, they lay down together. You know what I mean? She doesn't want it, but the man could be like, you know what? This is my child.
Right.
I want it. You know what I mean? So if you can birth it and give it to me, so therefore it's mine. Obviously, it's asking a lot for a female to go through 9 months with a child and then give it away to somebody else. You know what I mean? Give it to the father. But you know what I mean? Everybody has their.
I think every situation is unique, and this, more than most social issues, needs to be one that's taken with compassion and sympathy in mind for everyone's situation. Because, like you said, if a relationship's going well and you guys intended, let's say, to have a kid, and then she just makes a decision on her own and comes home one night, guess what? Baby's not coming no more. I would certainly freak out and feel a certain way about that. You know what I mean?
Especially if the relationship's going good, you have no idea.
So I think every situation is unique in that respect. You know what I mean? But the idea of doing the song was saying, this happened to me, this is how I feel about it, and I feel like a lot of people that were adopted and don't know their birth parents could identify with this. You know what I mean? So therefore I wanted to write something and put it out, and therefore I find that that's just being true and using art as a way to express your feelings, pretty much, which in my, I think art is more to express your feelings than to portray what you want to be all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I could rap about a lifestyle that I hope to achieve one day, or I could rap about the life that I live. You know what I mean? And I could do a combination of both, obviously. But it's important to be clear about, what message you're delivering and if it's true, you know what I mean, to what you're doing. So to me, I don't write a lot of songs about dealing drugs. I don't write a lot of songs about guns and violence. Personally, I write a lot of songs about things that I feel like I can speak from a place of experience rather than a place of onlooking. You know what I mean? So to me, that's kind of what Deep SeeS is about, is finding my own niche in a culture that I think is very, very open and diverse. I don't think hip-hop culture is as pigeonholed as some people make it out to be.
A lot of people think it is. Like, you think hip-hop, drugs, violence, guns. You know what I mean? That's just what hip-hop is. You know what I mean? But
it's bigger
hip-hop hip-hop is bigger than that. It's not just guns and violence and bitches and hoes and all this other stuff. That's not what hip-hop is. Hip-hop has so much more to it. That may be some of the stuff people rap about just because that's what they rap about. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you said, you talk about the adoption area. Then you got somebody else who could talk about something else. So it's just an outlet to express yourself. You know
exactly.
What I mean?
Yeah. Like, one of the songs I write is Take Chances, which was a very different song for me. I'm not a singer in any right, but I kind of just was vibing to the song. And that's about writing a song as if Fame is a woman. And what if Fame was a woman? This is the song I would write. Kind of like, I see that I know what she's waiting for. I know she's waiting for that person that fits that commercial stereotype or can fit that demographic or can just be about numbers. You know what I mean? But I feel like you're not taking any chances on me. You know what I mean? So that's what that song is about. And, you know, to a lot of people, they hear it and just think it's about a relationship. And I think that's what a good song is a song that people can kind of wear, you know what I mean? Or people can adapt to them, you know, and fits them. And not just is so blatantly, you know, forcing it down people's throat. This is what it's about. But saying, here's an emotion. Yeah, you know, here's a song that's emotional. What do you take from it? Exactly. So
that's what it is. Because you got every song means something to different people. You know, I can take something you say, and like I said, the whole adoption situation. Everybody has their own view and opinion on it, but everybody takes it a certain different way. Yeah, you know. So.
And I also feel like we don't know how powerful music is. We think we know, but like I always hear a song and I'll know the lyrics. And it's 15 years ago. I haven't spit the verse once. You know what I mean? Or I'll hear a song and it will bring me back to a certain time. Or one of my songs and I can remember where I was writing it. You know what I mean? And how much it triggers memory. You know, and who we are is a collective of memories. You know what I mean? If you dwell on negative memories, you're bound to become more of a bitter person, have that outlook on life. And if you have more bad memories in your life, that is, you know, also the case. That is, you know, so it's important to focus on good and have that balance. But also, you know, music triggers so much of good memories for me that I feel like I surround myself with music to keep myself insulated from all those bad memories. You know what I mean? And even bad memories through music are put through a digestible kind of, you know, they're easier to deal with if music is involved, in my opinion. Like if somebody dies, I write it. My grandmother passed away, I wrote a song about it. And I was able to feel like I was doing her justice by embracing those tough emotions. And I felt like I wasn't running from it because I was making a song and kind of facing the music, so to say. You know what I mean? Of that situation. So to me, you know, music is a way to make life more
manageable,
more not only more manageable, just better. You know, like more, you appreciate the good more, and you learn how to pass and ignore the bad, or understand the bad is there for a purpose. You know, easier. So to me, like, music is beautiful for that. That's why I say no matter what I'm going through in life, I'll always be writing. I've been writing since I was like 8 years old. Tons of verses, and now I look back and say, you know, I would have a hard time picking up a pen now and just writing like I used to write if I knew there wasn't a beat behind it, and I knew I didn't clear the beat, and I knew I couldn't get into a studio. Who's going to shoot the video, and do we got a promotional budget for it? And, you know, there's so much that I think about, and because I'm able to make that all happen, I get really excited about a song. And I'm wondering, you know, where was that excitement when I just really wrote it just to write it, you know? And it's kind of cool that I had that much passion to write notebooks and notebooks and notebooks before I went into a studio and started recording, or really taking it serious on a business or promotional level.
So you feel like your passion died out because of you know what I mean? You used to write more now because now you're thinking about, okay, who's going to do this? What's going to do this? What's going to do this? I'm not going to write into that. But before you used to write just because I'm just writing.
You know, I just think it's almost like I'm at such a level of excitement now. It's hard to imagine I was at that level of excitement before. Like, all this stuff makes me more passionate about doing it. And, you know, when I think, like, why am I so excited about, you know, working on this song, I think because, like, so many people are going to see it and I get all the feedback. I can't wait to perform it on stage, you know? And it's like I wasn't having those thoughts before. I was literally like, there was a need to write it. It was like an unexplainable just need to write, you know? And I feel like I still have that. Now I'm able to surround it with so many things that are what I'm doing in life is the blessing. That's the blessing. The dream, like I said on Facebook the other day, I think the dream is the ability to chase your dream. You know, to have the time, to have the resources, to have the understanding of how to do it. You know, chasing your dream probably is the better part than actually living it, you know? And people who made it can attest to that. And you look at them like, that's crazy. I can't imagine them saying that. But, you know, there might be truth to it. So let's not take for granted the opportunities we have to follow our dream, you know?
Exactly.
So
Like, so saying that, once again, this is Lacey Marv and Lisa Underground here with SeeS. We about to get into this new release of the video. I mean, he already released it, but we're gonna re-release it again up on Unleash the Underground.
Good. Yeah,
re-release it. You know, Unleash the Underground. Video is dope. It's called Adoption.
Yeah, and let's take a toast. It's almost at 100K on YouTube.
100K, okay,
on YouTube,
definitely.
which is better
on YouTube. That's
it's like 700,000 on Facebook. But
yo, see, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Touching sensitive topics, letting people know you transparent, talking to everybody. Because I say, if you get the ladies to listen, you're gonna get the fellas to listen too. Because they're gonna listen because the ladies listen.
And this is like, and we've had over 10,000 shares. So this shot is to everybody who shared the video on Facebook. And
shout out to everybody who shared it.
That's how you help an artist. Yeah,
exactly. You know what I mean?
Them.
Share the video. Woo! Unleash the Underground. Adoption.
Yeah, that's just kind of good, huh?
It is.
Yo, who's to say what's family? What you know about family? Huh?
Adopted at birth, still wondering my mother's last words. That's how I like to start this verse. Like my life started, thanks Ma, you put me on earth. And it ended where it started for whatever it's worth. You gave me to somebody better than you. But I can't help to think if you're doing bad, I want better for you. Maybe it's better I just try to forget about you. That's what they told me. They gave me pills, they edible too. So I ain't gotta swallow the truth, I could just chew. And honestly, I ain't even mad at you, cause I wouldn't have had the life I had if it was had with you. That was something you knew, so you did what was best for me. But what sucks the most, you couldn't be the best for me. Still, you was just drunk and I wonder if you still know my father. Do you love him? I'ma be okay. I'ma be okay. I'ma be okay. You ain't gotta worry about me. Nah, you ain't gotta worry about me. You could live your life. Do I cross your mind? I'ma be alright. You ain't gotta worry about me. Nah, you ain't gotta worry about me. Hey Dad, I'm still glad you ain't use a rubber when you was my mother, even if you didn't love her. Cause if you didn't, I wouldn't be here, motherfucker. But if you were half of a dad, you'd still be here, motherfucker. But worse, you could've got an abortion. God knows I would've got an abortion. I wonder if you begged her and tried to force it. Maybe now you're happily married with 4 kids. Who the hell knows? Don't know if I want to. All I know as a kid is it hurts so bad I still want you. These thoughts still haunt me. Why are you better without me? Should I be happy that I'm better without you? I wonder if you like rap music. Now you and Mom got a rap song about you. I hope you hear it and don't even know it. Yeah, you might not know it, but to someone out there, this song is about you. I'ma be okay. I'ma be okay. I'ma be okay. You ain't gotta worry about me. Nah, you ain't gotta worry about me. You could live your life. Do I cross your mind? I'ma be alright. You ain't gotta worry about me. Nah, you ain't gotta worry about me.
Yo, we back. Unleash the Underground. This is Lacey Marv. We just saw this SeeS video. She was fire.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So who published the whole video for you? Who shot that for you?
So it was shot by Vertigo. He's at Beatbox Studios, a studio I record at a lot.
Okay.
He did a lot of my videos. I got into editing a little bit, so sometimes, I tell him, just send me the footage.
So he just sent you the footage.
Because, so, and then other times I'm like, yo, edit this for me, but I felt just like this one there wasn't a lot there. Like the video, there was like, all the extra footage and like kind of the stock footage and the idea of splitting the screen in half and kind of telling a story on 2 different sides. Was really kind of my idea.
So it was your idea. So you pretty much just did everything behind the video.
I'm really kind of a control freak when it comes to the images, and just the sound of my stuff. So when I collaborate with people, you know, it can be difficult at sometimes unless I find the right people to collaborate with. And that's why, like, I've worked with him for so long, is because I find it very easy to work with him. And I just felt like sometimes when we used to do videos, I'd have an idea for it, and I would make like a rough edit and send it to him just to be like, you know, this is my thoughts, you know. But over the years, I got pretty good at editing myself, you know, just because I kind of like being hands-on on everything that I do. And so sometimes when it comes to like a personal song like this, you know, United State of Mind, Champion, all those, like, he shot and edited. I Don't Care, a lot of the videos on my YouTube channel, you know, SeeS09, he would both shoot and edit. But this song, I was like, I gotta edit this.
You just figure I'm gonna take control. I'm gonna do everything. This is it.
So
you know what I mean?
And we didn't shoot a lot. I mean, we shot like on the roof and walking through the woods.
But it looks like a simple concept, but the message behind it, like I said, was your main thing. Like, I feel like it kept it with the black and white, which was nice. Yeah, and we kept it simple. Like, it's black and white, simple. It's not. It is black and white, but it's not black and white at the same time. Like the message.
Exactly.
So it's like, you know what I mean? Had a little under, you know what I mean?
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, no, and it made it feel, you know, a little bit
more personal. Like,
I feel like a little bit more personal and kind of you know, like reflective. Yeah, you know.
Did it trigger any emotions for
also,
you?
Also, it was easier. It was also, to give the secret behind it, was when you work with some stock footage sometimes and you're putting an image side by side. And you have different lighting for it. Sometimes it just blends better, black and white.
Yeah, it does.
So for me, it was really about, I had a lot of different directions and a lot of shots from different people, you know, using some stock footage, using footage that we shot. And I just felt like, how do I make this all really blend together to look, you know, like it all fits? And to me, I felt like that's black and white help with that. That's a little...
Okay.
You know, behind the scenes.
That's what it is. So do you have some other stuff you do, I guess, you know what I mean, on the side? You know what I mean? You help people get their stuff out there, because obviously you get a lot of views. You know what I mean? You have a system. Like, what did you do to, you know what I mean, to get it out there?
So yeah, I mean, I do help artists as much as I can, and you know, and there's certain artists that I'm involved with, you know, in reaching out on their behalf to, you know, playlisters, radio stations, labels, and things like that. So, you know, and, you know, we're going on this tour, and I know FNX was just here, and I'm going with him. I'm also going with this artist that I work with that's really dope and on the cusp of really breaking out. Named CB Smooth.
CB Smooth?
Yeah, from North Carolina. And he has, like, Zaytoven, Dame Grease, Manny Fresh production on his stuff, and he's just, like, rises right to the occasion. Literally, you know, these are songs you could hear on the radio. And, you know, we were talking about commercial music before, like, there's an art to it, and he really enjoys and has perfected song structure and writing and, you know, matching up with the right producers and the right singers. And, you know, you can learn a lot, you know, understanding how deep he really thinks about the songs that he puts out. And, you know, shout out to him. We're going on tour with him. CBSmooth.com.
When is his tour supposed to
So the tour starts April 12th.
April 12th?
So yeah, so I'm flying to, I think, Vancouver on the 11th, and then we're coming across, going to Montreal. So it's 18 dates.
18?
Yeah, it ends on May 3rd, I believe.
So it's your first tour, or?
You know, I actually went on tour with CB Smooth when he went on the Beat Nuts tour. I wasn't performing. I was just there for several of the shows. But yeah, it's the first time, like, I'm really going on tour.
Really going on tour. So you like, and it's excited.
International
it's
tour.
It's like, international.
Shout out Apathy. Shout out Self-Titled. Like, I couldn't, you know, pick better people to be going with. Yeah. Being from Connecticut, having so much respect for Connecticut, Apathy is obviously on everybody, you know, top 5 or should be, you know, as far as making something out, you know, from the state and just making consistent, good music and following his passion, and doing what he does, you know, worldwide. And it's something that I think artists should look up to. So to be able to be on a tour with him is a blessing. So I'm excited to that. I'm excited for that. Yeah.
So speaking about artists, who do you consider your top 5 in CT?
Top 5 in CT.
See, you know what I mean? A lot of people listening, you know what I mean? A lot of people in CT obviously going to be listening to this. You know what I mean? You're going to hurt some people's feelings. You're going to make some people happy. You know what I mean? top 5 in CT. You know what I mean? Or should I say, put it this way, top 6. Top 6. I know you're gonna throw yourself in the top 5, obviously. So we're gonna give you top 6.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely in there. And you know, this is just opinion, you know, and just where as far as this will be gauged on people's talent, people's promotion, people's commitment to it, dedication, people's communication with me. So it's jaded, you know what I mean? First, I want to shout out Annoyed. You know, even though I don't have connection with him.
I mean, no, but is this a particular order or no particular order?
No particular order. No particular order.
I saved you a little bit by saying no particular order.
But, you know, I just think, you know, I look forward to meeting him one day. I think his music is dope and it's deep, and he's making major moves.
All right.
So definitely have to put him there. Definitely got to put FNX there. I know he was just here.
Too. Okay,
you know, for bars all day. I don't see people that. You know, if he's like, let's go 16 bar for bar. There's not a lot of people in Connecticut.
Yeah, he definitely just dropped something in the booth, like he says, crazy.
So that's, you know, he's crazy. Man.
I mean, no pressure.
You know, I'll throw Apathy in there, of course.
Okay.
Especially going on tour with him, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember every day going to work and hearing his song on the radio. You know what I mean? So that's big. You know, who else?
Gotta give me 2 more, man.
I mean, I gotta shout out Oscar Black because I think you know, he's definitely somebody I've been in communication with and worked with and shown crazy commitment, and I think keeps growing as an artist and really is somebody who I look up to. You know what I mean? Because he's older than I am, and I've seen him doing it for a long time. And you know, even I get like, yo, you got to give this shit up. You know what I mean? And,
like, nah,
and it's like, yo, it's like, nah, yo, like I see people making it to new levels all the time. You know what I mean? And still pushing. And for me, you know, I really respect that. You know what I mean? So he's like an OG for the Connecticut music scene, in my opinion.
Okay.
You know, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, who would I pick for the last person? There's a lot of people with bars.
Yeah.
You know, obviously I'd throw myself in there. So like you said, you know.
Yeah, I mean, so you still owe me one more. I said 6. So you know what I mean? You owe me one more. I mean, a lot of people when your viewers comments talking about some, yo, why you ain't throwing me in there? So
I mean, there's a bunch of people that I'm thinking about. You know, I'll give it to Karma, man. I mean, I think Karma to me is like somebody who, if I didn't know him or whatever, I think he wrote one of the best songs in CT. You know, I was happy that time at Jinx's showcase that we were right before he left. Right now, he's doing good things too. Right now, he's helping out with like recovery efforts. Where's he at? Like New Orleans or something like that. Yeah, he's all over the place. Baton Rouge or something like that. Doing positive things for people. You know what I mean? And his music reflects that. And you know, lyrically, I think that he's really up there.
So lyrically, you talk about you top 5, obviously, because you said you threw yourself in there. So we're gonna try to get into a bar real quick. Have you step in the booth? You know what I'm saying?
Let's get it.
You know what I mean? Have you drop something? Let them know. Yeah. You better come hard because you said you up there. You in the top 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You in CT. So you didn't mention a few names. So they gonna wonder like, listen.
I mean, shout out so many people. I mean,
I hear you, but you about to jump in there and drop something today. And if you drop something weak, they gonna be like, I could have took his spot. You know what I mean? So
I hear that.
If you make sure you come through with something nice.
You already
so it's
know.
good. This is Lacey Marv, Unleash the Underground. SeeS about to jump in the booth, drop a hot 16 for us. Let's go.
Right, let's do it.
Okay, we in the booth now. SeeS Music. Shout out Jinx, BST Records. Shout out the Top 10 Cypher. CTHipHopBlog.com. Check it out.
Lines eye on beat.
Kill rapping, I won't quit. To invest in a forfeit. Lyrically, gotta vest in a 4/5. And a verbal automatic for anybody wanting static. I'm out of my mind, the maddest. Infatuated with having everything perfect. The average and having an impossible time catching us. Laughing, I'm laughing. Half of me actually feeling half bad for laughing at tragedy. Quit asking me, gassing me to do something irrational. As it passing me weapons and ammunition to step in the wrong direction. You missing, I'm repping the game for every critic who wouldn't listen. And when they finally did, had nothing but criticism. I ain't fit the format. F that, let them fall flat. My cadence walks over tracks like a floor mat. Sorry if I force that down your throat when you're all fat and greedy. Making money off the back of starving artists. The truth is, the game needs me. Yeah, BST, what up?
Okay, I see we ain't done yet. I had to hit him with an exclusive, you know? I ain't even record this yet. Let's get it. Said, they don't wanna walk with me now. Nah, they don't wanna talk to me now. You ready? Yo. I go this road lonely, go for broke, only overdose, only those who know me, only dope. Sometimes all I know is words I spoke, slowly approaching legendary. Is that just the edge is scary? Dark, be wary, often hearing, barking near me, often carry, often very watchful. No free time, you see I watchful. Don't peep mine, you see my Glock full. Can't eat mine, no see my pot full. Can't judge me with 3 apostles. To run up on SeeS, act hostile. I'm killing every last one of the beats that I rock to. Impossible, it ain't even logical. Lying in the hospital, I'm too sick. Don't make me pop at you. Strictly what the optic do, but the sniper rifle not in view. A lot to lose, a lot to prove, and that means lots of moves that y'all can't do. So I guess I'ma stand on my own too. Lonely on the top, but you gon' do what you gon' do. Yeah. Said it's lonely on top, but you gon' do what you gon' do. SeeS, what you gon' do? I'm flipping the game and I'm foolish. Ayy, flipping the game and the tool spit. Ain't flipping the range, just switching lanes, maneuvering. Ayy, yeah, they don't wanna walk with me now. Nah, they don't wanna talk to me now. But I'm like, fuck the haters, man. You ain't even getting the whole track yet. Shit's coming, that's the exclusive. Shout out Jinx, Unleash the Underground, BST Records. Yeah.
Yeah, yo. It's Unleash the Underground. This is Lacey Marv. You heard SeeS in the booth.
Yeah.
Yo, he has like two different tracks.
Why not?
You know what I mean? One he ain't released yet. Told me he about to record soon. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Let us know.
Yo, I gotta say, I'm feeling a lot better at the end of this interview than the beginning.
Yeah? Yeah, I mean, them shots help.
The shots help, and we're almost finished, so I'm gonna make
almost
you
finished.
This last one.
Take one more.
He was trying to dodge it off camera, so
I was trying to dodge it off camera.
Let's do it.
It's a long day.
Yo, the bottle's almost finished, so.
Bottle almost finished. I mean, that's what we do. We come through here. We drinks. We have drinks. We have a good time. I mean, we smoke off camera.
Yeah. Word. Perfect. Perfect. There you go. Cheers to a good interview.
Cheers. Definitely a great interview.
Appreciate it, man.
I mean?
Definitely. Let's get it. Hair
you
on the chest
like a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
Let's go.
So, what you think of that? Was that good?
I personally think it was good. You know what I mean?
Cool. As long as you
think
it was
you
good.
said you should have been.
As long as I sell one album, I'm good.
Yeah. I need one album. You said one album. That's my goal. One. Just give me one album.
Let's go.
I'm not greedy. I'm not
print
greedy.
up one. Just for you.
That's what it is. So, is he back into it again? Where can they find you at? You know
all right, SeeSmusic.com is the place to go. CT Hip Hop Blog is the blog for the state. You know, and then all my social media is SeeS09. So that's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reverb Nation. Anywhere you want to find me, you could Google SeeS Music. You can Google SeeS.
If you want Google, you big. Yeah, I mean, they type you
or
Google,
Bing or whatever. SeeS Music. You know what I mean? And again, it's SeeS09. If there's a dash and then an address, it's SeeS09. So if it's YouTube, if it's Facebook, if it's Twitter, Instagram, it's the same thing. SEES09. And SeeSmusic.com, you can find everything. CT Hip Hop Blog, you can find all the dopest artists in CT.
Yeah, that's what it is. Unleash the Underground, Lacey Marv here with SeeS.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Find you around. So like I said, he about to go on tour. He going to Canada. Canada.
He
going out to Canada. You know what I mean? Got this video he's dropping. He's doing big things.
Yeah,
definitely making moves. You know what I mean? Anything else you want to let the people know? You know what I mean?
Man, shout out everybody in CT doing their thing, yo. Okay. There's so many artists right now that I'm following and respect. You know what I mean? You asked me to name 6. I don't want to name more without naming other people.
I hear you.
You know, I felt good about that top 5 as far as people, you know, that are doing things. But I'm supporting a lot more people than that, and I want to see, you know, everybody win and succeed, and
that's right.
try to break out of the state and do stuff, you know, in other places. And you know, I think it's more important to rep CT outside of the state than rep it inside the state. You know what I mean? Exactly. It's kind of like everybody's just like inside of Connecticut. I rep it harder than you. No, I rep it harder than you.
Yeah.
And then there's one person.
Like we both live here.
Yeah.
We both live here. Yeah. Like repping somebody who don't live here.
You know, I want to be in Africa. Be like, I rep CT.
CT. What is this? What is this CT that you speak of?
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Exactly.
We out here.
So we out everywhere repping CT. That's what it's about.
CT.
You know, shout out everybody.
New York, shout to CT. We in New Jersey, shout to CT.
Yeah, South by Southwest. Got a lot of CT artists there. I hope they repping.
For real. When you go to Canada, they're like, where you from? CT. Like, CT, where is that?
CTA?
CT. I mean, CT's actually making moves. We in movies, you know what I mean? Yeah. A lot of places. They doing a lot of stuff out here. You know
and, you know, we close to New York and Boston. And, you know, I'm there every other weekend, if not every weekend. So it's a good home base. You know, this is home. So, you know, shout out Jinx for doing a lot in Connecticut. You know what I mean? You know, constant showcases, working with artists, interviews, mixtapes, you name it. He's doing it for Connecticut artists. You know what I mean? And, you know, if it takes you an extra couple minutes to hop on and share some stuff that he's doing, subscribe to the YouTube, you know, try to help the people, not only the artists, but the people that are helping multiple artists. That's the best way to help a lot of artists is to subscribe to something that they're doing interviews with different Connecticut artists. So if you didn't hit subscribe and you're still watching this, fuck you. You know what I mean? Let's get it. Now you cool. If they just hit subscribe, now they cool. If they don't hit subscribe, fuck you.
Check it. I'm going to throw a little ad-lib in this shoe. If you an artist, you out there, you watching, you ain't from CT, you from anywhere in the world, you want to come out here, Unleash the Underground, Lacey Marv, come out here. We're going to interview, we're going to get you out there. We're going to let you know. Look at SeeS out here doing big things. You know what I mean? Definitely motivational artist, doing great things, getting crazy views. You just saw him in the booth doing what he was doing. We out here, you know what I mean? Definitely promoting CT artists and any artist trying to do a thing who's actually trying to do something and do what they do.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So, you know what I mean? And since this is Unleash the Underground, you know what I mean? What we do, what we always do, we try to get to little, you know what I mean? Get into little know about you. Find out what you about. So we want you to unleash. We want you to unleash what is SeeS. You know what I mean? Something that you don't tell nobody, something that nobody know. I mean, you had a pretty much transparent album that you know what I mean, just dropped out. So we want to know if there's something else that you might have left out. You know what I mean?
Man, I don't know. I feel like people know a lot about.
I'll tell you like this. We ask you this. You got a girlfriend? You got a lady?
I got a girl.
You got a girl? How long you been
10 plus years.
10 plus years.
Yeah, I love her. Definitely. Shout out.
She gonna hear this. You gonna get something extra special when it's dropped.
Yeah,
watch.
Shout out, boo boo. Yeah.
That little thing she do just for your birthday, she gonna do it today. She hear it. That's what it is.
Yeah, no, I got a girl. Definitely. Long time.
So anything else you want? Anything else you want to say that? You know what I mean?
Man.
Anything. Anybody you want to shout out? You ain't shout out. You know what I mean?
Yo, when I was young, I used to love country music and wanted to be a cowboy.
You want to be a cowboy.
There you go. I went to Arizona a few times. I was riding horseback. I had the whole. I walked into school with like damn near spurs on. I'm surprised, and I wonder why I got made fun of. But I had definitely. I have like a gangster phase. I had like a cowboy phase.
Cowboy turned rapper.
That's something that people. I was born in Texas, by the way. So
that's the crazy transition.
You want something they don't know, you know? Like I went through McDonald's drive-through on horseback with a house with dead ass with a cowboy hat on.
Shout out the Simpsons movie. Just stay with the Simpsons.
And I was like 12, 13 years old, just like going through the desert with, you know, like when we go on.
Right around the little thermos pack on.
So there's something nobody's ever heard about SeeS when he was like 13.
13. That's kind of old. I'm 13 years old riding horseback.
Well, I mean, by yourself, I hope you're not much younger than that. We was like in the middle of the desert riding horseback.
Just riding horseback. Where we at?
I used to ride, you know, that's something people don't know about me. I used to ride horse a lot, you know, but whatever.
That's what it is. A lot of people like to go horseback riding. You
know now it's like, yo, now that shit hurts. I don't try to do
Everybody gonna catch you like, yo, trying to go horseback riding? Like, I don't live that life no more.
I don't live that life no more.
I live that life. I still old to be.
But you know, I love all types of music. So, you know, like I did like country music for a while though. So that's
nothing's wrong with country music. I mean, music is music.
I don't like it now.
Well, I mean, like you said, music is an expression of yourself.
So there you go. There's something nobody knows.
Yeah.
SeeS the Cowboy. Let's get it.
SeeS the Cowboy. Oh, you heard it here first. SeeS the Cowboy. He gonna have a country album dropping soon for
Exactly.
for the
We're
summer.
bringing it back.
He gonna drop one for the summer. Every for all the Cowboys out there. You know what I mean? You might catch him out there roping. What y'all be roping?
the lasso.
Buzz. The lasso roping Buzz. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The
Watch.
Magnificent Seven.
Magnificent Seven. That's what come Halloween. You're gonna see SeeS out there as just as a cowboy. It was a childhood dream to let him play you.
That was like 17 years ago or some shit, but
it
it happened, and now y'all know about it.
Timberland Spurs. Yeah, that Just Bula over there. Shout out to Just Bula. Timberland Spurs. Timberland Spurs out there.
There you go.
He don't battle. He do shootouts.
Yeah.
10 paces.
Corral. Let's get
Pow. That's what he do now. All his battles. He's going to take 10 paces and turn around and then start battling each other. Sickest bar win.
Yeah.
All right, though. Once again, it was beautiful to have you out here. It was
Word.
Lacey Marv,
you.
Unleash the Underground. This is, we had SeeS out here. Once again, before you go, let them know where to find you at.
SeeSmusic.com.
SeeSmusic.com.
Check it out.
Check them out.
CTHipHopBlog.com. That's for everybody in CT.
Everybody in CT.
Yeah, we doing it.
That's what it is. That's what it is. You said you're gonna be someplace else again. Real quick before we go. You said you're gonna be someplace else. You said you're gonna be going on tour in Canada. You're gonna be out there. Make sure you check that. He gonna obviously be on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Let everybody know what's going on.
Definitely follow my Snapchat and everything and YouTube.
Snapchat.
We're gonna be like going crazy on this tour.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like I told people we gonna land and I'm gonna just like keep my phone plugged in and hit Facebook Live like
Facebook
for 28
Live
days.
28 days.
Like you're gonna see me
Facebook Live.
sleeping. Oh, okay. So
Sleep.
he's just
What's
sleeping
he doing?
now.
He's sleeping.
But I don't sleep a lot, so then I just be
Look at the drool on his mouth. Oh, he's drooling because he's worked hard.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, that's what it is.
Check it
Unleash
out.
the Underground. Lacey Marv, SeeS. Thank you for having us out here.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
it.
One.